Happy Appy, Nickelodeon Lost Media. The story of Happy Appy first appeared online in 2011 on a now archived Blogspot page created by a user who claimed to have uncovered a long-lost children's show. The blog was titled the Happy Appy Lost Episode blog, and it was written by someone using the name Gerasim Yakovlev. According to the posts, Yakovlev had recently found a mysterious DVD labeled HA 1-10 in a used electronics store. The blog claimed this DVD contained 10 full episodes of a strange and forgotten show that once aired on Nick Jr. in the late 1990s. According to the blog, the show aired for a short period in 1999 with two 10-minute episodes shown back-to-back during afternoon programming blocks. The main character was a large claymation apple with stick-like arms and legs, a bright green leaf on top of his head, round blue eyes, and wide green lips. His voice was described as soft and calm, somewhat slow, and he always spoke in a soothing tone meant to comfort children. The purpose of the show was educational. Happy Appy would help kids who got minor injuries, like scraped knees, bug bites, or nosebleeds, by teaching them how to take care of themselves. He would often say, "What do you need for this boo-boo?" before pulling out a bandage, an ice pack, or a cartoonish first aid kit. According to the blog, the intro theme was a melody of Mary Had a Little Lamb, with simple lyrics like, "Happy Appy's here to help. He's a friend who really cares." The animation quality was described as basic and clunky, with stop motion that sometimes looked uneven or unstable. The backgrounds were static and often reused. In one of the earliest described episodes, titled Happy's Vacation, Happy walks along a cartoon beach, helping sunburned kids and warning them about jellyfish. At first, Yakovlev described the show as odd but harmless, but after watching the episodes more closely, he started noticing strange details. Some frames would randomly skip, as if scenes had been edited out. There were objects in the background that didn't make sense, like a blurry sign on a parked van showing a man's face, or a newspaper with an unreadable date. One episode had a distorted piece of background music that sounded like it was recorded in reverse. According to Yakovlev, these strange moments weren't explained in the story and didn't fit the tone of a children's show. As the blog continued, the episodes were described as becoming more and more disturbing. In one entry, Yakovlev talked about an episode referred to by fans as a boo-boo episode. In this one, a small boy shows Happy Appy a minor scrape on his hand. Happy leans in and stares at the wound, and then holds his stare directly at the camera for 30 full seconds. Happy doesn't blink or move, just silently watches. Then, in a raspy voice, he finally says, "That's right. A Band-Aid." The music doesn't play. The boy doesn't speak again. The scene ends there. Later episodes reportedly showed darker and more violent content. In one, titled Happy Helps Behind the Tree, two kids wander into the woods while on a school field trip. Happy appears behind a bush and invites them closer. The camera cuts away to a blank screen while disturbing audio plays, wet, squishing sounds, faint cries, and what sounds like metal scraping against something soft. When the video returns, Happy steps back into view, smiling, with red smudges across his hands and the forest floor behind him. One of the most talked about parts of the blog was a description of episode 7, where Happy is shown dragging children into his van, a large rusted-out vehicle with no windows. In one scene, a young girl cries out as she's pulled inside. The van door slams shut. Then the camera lingers on Happy standing in the distance, smiling, before walking slowly toward the viewer. The most infamous episode is episode 8, which reportedly shows real-world events long before they happened. According to Yakovlev, this episode opens with images of the Twin Towers on fire, even though the show was supposedly made in 1999, 2 years before the 9/11 attacks. A small child is seen pinned beneath rubble, crying for help. Smoke fills the sky, and people run in all directions. Happy Appy looks directly into the camera and says, That's natural, children. He then grabs the injured child and walks away. Yakovlev claimed the episode ended with a siren noise that didn't stop until the credits rolled. In the later blog posts, Yakovlev said that the episode 9 and 10 were corrupt. One wouldn't play past the title screen, and the other crashed his media player entirely. He began suggesting there was something wrong with the files themselves, or with the DVD. No official copy of Happy Appy was ever found. There's no record of such a show on Nick Jr., and no known staff member from the network has ever confirmed its existence. Over time, Happy Appy became one of the most discussed lost media creepypastas on sites like 4chan's -X-, Reddit's r/lost media, and YouTube. Fan-made content began appearing in the early 2010s. In 2019, a small indie game studio called Amoeba Games announced a project called Happy Appy: The Rotten Apple. The game was described as a turn-based horror RPG in which players would explore fictional lost episodes, meet characters from the blog, and face a mysterious figure named Forensic, a character created by fans who is said to be the editor or producer behind the dark turn the show took. Development updates were posted on forums, but no playable version was ever released, and the project was quietly abandoned. The Max Headroom broadcast signal intrusion, 1987 incident. On the night of November 22, 1987, someone managed to hijack not one, but two TV broadcasts in Chicago, airing a bizarre video that has never been fully explained, and whose creator has never been caught. The first incident happened during the 9 p.m. sports report on WGN-TV, a local Chicago channel owned by the Tribune Company. Viewers were watching sportscaster Dan Rowan reporting on the day's games when the screen suddenly cut to static. Then, without warning, the image changed to show a person standing in front of a sheet of corrugated metal. The person was wearing a rubber mask of Max Headroom, a fictional TV character from the 1980s known for its glitchy digital style and artificial stutter. The figure also wore sunglasses and a dark suit, similar to the one the original Max Headroom wore. But unlike the real character, this version was clearly not part of a TV show. The masked man didn't speak. Instead, a loud buzzing sound played over the video, similar to radio interference or high-pitched hum. After about 30 seconds, WGN's engineers managed to shut down the signal and bring the sports broadcast back on air. Dan Rowan appeared again and seemed confused, saying, "Well, if you're wondering what happened, so am I." That would have been strange enough on its own. But the same night, about 2 hours later, it happened again, this time targeting WTTW Channel 11, Chicago's PBS station. The second interruption happened during an airing of the Doctor Who episode, The Horror of Fang Rock. Unlike WGN, WTTW didn't have an engineer watching the transmission tower at the time. The hijacker was able to take full control of the signal and air a much longer video, lasting about 90 seconds. This second video began similarly. The same masked figure appeared in front of the metal panel, but this time, he spoke. His voice was distorted and hard to understand. He made random and confusing references to New Coke, a failed soft drink formula from the 1980s. He mentioned Clutch Cargo, a cartoon from the 1960s known for its odd animation style, and he mocked Chicago sportscaster Chuck Swirsky, who worked at WGN Radio. At one point he said, "He's a frickin' nerd," followed by the phrase, "World's greatest newspaper nerds," which seemed to be a sarcastic joke about WGN's name, World's Greatest Newspaper. The video got stranger and more chaotic as it went on. The masked man began humming a tune and waving a can of Pepsi. He then pulled off one of his gloves and said, "My brother's wearing the other one, but it's dirty. It's like you got blood stains on it." At the end of the broadcast, the man's behavior turned even more bizarre. He pulled down his pants and bent over, revealing his backside to the camera while shouting, "They're coming to get me!" A second person, believed to be a woman, appeared on screen. She was also wearing a mask and black dress. She held a fly swatter and calmly said, "Bend over, bitch," before swatting him on the butt. The screen then cut to static, and Doctor Who resumed. The entire hijack lasted less than 2 minutes. An investigation was opened by both the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI. But despite using all available resources at the time, they were unable to trace the source of the signal. The best guess was that the hijacker used a powerful microwave transmitter pointed directly at the TV station's broadcast antennas, possibly from a nearby rooftop. Doing something like this would have required technical knowledge, equipment, and precise timing. A few suspects were quietly questioned over the years, including local engineers and people involved in Chicago's underground video scene. One popular theory suggests that it may have been a group of video art students from a nearby university. Another theory says that it could have been a former TV station employee with access to broadcast equipment. But no evidence ever led to arrests, and no one has come forward to claim responsibility, not even anonymously. To this day, Mac's Headroom hijacking remains completely unsolved. It's considered one of the most famous cases of broadcast piracy in U.S. history. Agamemnon Counterpart, analog horror short. On June 13, 2006, a YouTuber user named Fivitella Fuzzerator uploaded the video. For the very first frame, it looked like something from a forgotten VHS tape. It starts with a faded warning screen, followed by a block of odd text. The message says it's the year 2571, and a video cassette has been found in the ruins of a destroyed planet. Then it says that what the viewer is about to see isn't even the tape itself, it's something completely different. What follows is just 30 seconds long. The screen shows cartoon-like characters drawn in a way that looks intentionally childish or unfinished. A title appears, "Let's Make a New Friend." The drawings are jerky, the sound is muted, until suddenly the video explodes into high-pitched, blood-curdling screaming. At the same time, the images glitch violently. The cartoon characters twist and melt into abstract shapes. The music playing underneath is strange too. A mix of funk from a 1970s movie and distorted audio that cuts in and out. Then just as quickly as it started, it ends, cutting to black and leaving viewers staring at static. After it's uploaded, Agamemnon Counterpart began spreading in online horror forums. Nobody knew where it came from. Some believe it was more than just a short film. One popular theory claimed that the screaming heard in the video was real, taken from a disturbing Japanese crime video that had been circulating underground. The theory said the audio captured the final moments of a real victim hidden inside an art project to keep it online without being noticed. Others suggested that the video wasn't found, but broadcast, saying it might have been part of a number station or TV signal hijack that was recorded and later uploaded without context. Some viewers connected it to the Greek myth of Agamemnon, a king who was betrayed and murdered by his wife. The YouTube channel that first posted it was deleted by its owner, and that exact version is no longer available. While re-uploads exist, some say the original had slightly different color grading, or that the sound was more intense. The original video is a lost media. Blank Room Soup. The final case is a disturbing one. The clip first appeared online in late 2005. The earliest known upload was by a YouTube user named Renaissance Man on November 26, 2005. The video is short and almost completely silent, with only some faint background noise. It shows a small, empty white room with barely any furniture. In the middle of the room, a shirtless Asian man is sitting at a table, eating from a large bowl of soup. Soon, 3 strange-looking figures enter the room, one after the other. Each of them wears a large cartoon-like mask that covers her entire head. The masks look like characters from an animated series. They also wear gloves and full outfits that hide their identity. The figures don't speak or make any noise. They just silently stand around the man. 2 of them sit next to him and start lightly patting him on the back. After a moment, the man suddenly begins to cry. He puts down his spoon and starts sobbing, while the masked figures lean toward him as if trying to comfort him. Later parts of the video, often labeled parts 2, 3, and 4, add to the mystery. In one scene, a can of soda appears on the table. In another, the man suddenly screams as one of the masked figures quickly runs towards him. There are shortcuts showing what might be someone else being dragged into the room, and at one point, a figure can be seen watching from behind a door. Viewers began calling the video Blank Room Soup, and it quickly spread online as part of the early creepy web trend. One of the most upsetting rumors claimed that the video came from the darknet, and that the soup in the video contained human remains, specifically the body of the man's wife. Some internet users believed that the masked people had killed her and were now forcing the man to eat her remains on camera. According to those online theories, Blank Room Soup was actually a real torture video. Many viewers said it felt too real to be fake. As time went on, some explanations started to appear. Investigators and online researchers found links between the video and an animator named Raymond S. Percy. He worked on The Simpsons and also created original characters called the Ray Ray figures. The costumes seen in the Blank Room Soup look exactly like those Ray Ray characters. Percy himself has denied being involved in making the video, but he admitted that the characters are definitely based on his work. That connection led people to believe the video might be a strange kind of performance art or an experimental viral project. The person who uploaded the video, Renaissance Men, said they received the footage by email. Nobody knows who the man in the video is. No one has come forward with new information, and no victims or suspects have ever been confirmed or arrested. These 4 pieces of lost media have each built a reputation for being strange, disturbing, or completely unexplainable. Whether they are real, fake, or something in between, they've all left people with more questions than answers. Have you heard of any of these before? What's your take on the origin of each of them? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching until the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.